Welcome back to a new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and in this video I'm going to talk about the 5 very important lessons I learned from this book, The 48 Laws of Power. And I bet that you guys have must heard about this book in social media where people are saying this book is banned in prisons, this book is this book is that. And to be truthful, this is actually true. This book is very insightful, filled with applicable wisdom and very powerful. So I've learned this book from front to back, so I thought, why not share the things that I've learned from this book with you guys? So I decided to make this video, and let's get started with the 5 very important lessons I learned from the book 48 Laws of Power. And before we start, check the mic out. Let me know in the comments below if the quality of the audio has improved a little bit. And to be fair and to be honest, and I'm a realist, so to be really, if I'm to really say where we are at according to the in terms of content, we're literally at level 1 of level 50 or 100. We're literally just starting out. A lot of quality improvements that we need to make, a lot of content improvements that we need to make. And I started this channel with the main goal of sharing my journey and sharing the lessons I've learned, because the more you share, the more you grow. So that's what I believe in. And I will not want to be selfish with the things I've learned. So that's why I started this channel, and that's why I'm making these videos for you guys. So let's get started without wasting any time and coming to point number 5. What's hidden is not valued. And it comes from law number 6, which says, court attention at all costs. You see, society tells us that you should not be flexing your capabilities. You should not be showing it to other people. You should not be showing what you're capable of. You should not be showing your potential. And we kind of think that someone will dig our hidden potential. And the reality is very brutal, and the real world is very harsh than we think. And what's not seen is hidden, and what's hidden is not valued. It's that simple. And if I have to give you a simple example of it, let's say I want to hire a video editor, and I look for, let's say there's a best video editor in the world, and he approaches me. But if his capabilities and if his potential is hidden, then I'm not going to be hiring him. Why would I waste my time trying to dig his potential, trying to figure him out, trying to see if he has any hidden potentials that he has not shown to anyone? I will not do that. No one will do that in this world, right? But even if there's a mid video editor, even if there's a okay video editor, not that great, not that good, but if he has shown his capability, if he has shown his potential, then obviously I'm going to hire him. Obviously everyone's going to hire him. So that's the difference between when you show your potential and when you hide your potential, as most of the society tells. So you should not be flexing your stupidness. You should not be flexing your money, you're this, you're that, but you should be flexing your capabilities. You should be flexing your potential so that people can know exactly who you are, exactly what you can do, and exactly what you're made of. So what's hidden is not valued. Getting into point number 4, learn to stay quiet. And it comes from law 1 and law 4 that says, never outshine your master. You see, I was at this event one time, and I was sitting with a couple of brothers, and there was this guy who was a real estate legend, I'll say. Yeah, he was very successful in real estate, and what he basically did was he bought lands in cheap. He kind of, I don't know how, but he managed to buy lands in cheap and build houses very fast, and then he used to resell those houses, making crazy amounts of money, way more money than I make, right? And I was talking with him. I was slowly starting and trying my best to make him open up about his secrets and about his processes and how he manages to be this successful in this competitive field of real estate. And he was slowly starting to open up, and just when he was about to share his secrets with me, there was this brother who was just so much loud, and he was speaking in the middle a lot. He was cross-questioning that real estate guy. He was just putting his opinions when the real estate guy was about to share his knowledge, share his wisdom that he learned from years of working hard. And that actually pissed the hell out of me. I could not say anything, and the real estate agent ended up not saying anything to me, and which is very sad, honestly. And no wonder the dude who was speaking non-stop and who was putting his opinions again and again and again is super broke, and he literally lives on his wife's money. His home runs on his wife's money, and he's basically jobless, and he was speaking again and again and again, and that was really frustrating. So I realized this law that you should always learn to be quiet when you are with someone who is better than you. Let's say, I always say this to my friends, I've said this in previous videos as well, that even if I'm talking with a garbage man, let's say me and a garbage man meet, and the guy who picks up garbage, if he's saying something about picking garbage, how the garbage management works, how his boss treats him, how his boss handles the garbage, how they deal with the government, then I will not be sitting there saying, I have this agency which is worth 1 crore rupees. I'm not gonna be sitting there saying things like that. I'm not going to be sitting there giving my opinions on the garbage industry. I'm going to be listening to him, trying my best to be as quiet as possible, and trying my best to learn and observe as much as possible, instead of just being like an empty vessel that makes the most noise. So you should learn to shut your mouth when it's necessary. Also, I'm not saying you should always be quiet and so-called introvert, but you should learn to shut your mouth when it's important. You should not be always loud, always giving your opinions, always saying different kind of stuff when you're in a group setting with someone who is more capable than you, who is more successful than you. It doesn't mean that the person has to be successful. It could be you in a relationship and you dating someone, and let's say the other person is speaking something, sharing something. You should be there listening more than giving your opinions and giving your instant solutions to them. So that's the law number 4. And getting into law number 3, do not offend the wrong person. It comes from law number 19. And listen, the world is kind of dangerous, to be honest, and there are dangerous people. And there are people who love to take fights, either physical or online fights, or, whatever fights. So there are people who just love to pick up on people. They just love messing around with people. They just love offending people, and they're like, I don't care who I offend. I am me. I am that. It's actually a very, very dumb mistake that takes power away from you. Let's say you have a house owner. Let's say you live on rent and you have a house owner, and you don't want to offend the house owner, because the house owner is literally your neighbor as well as someone who is giving you business, right? Someone who is giving you a service. So you should not offend the wrong person, and you should not offend me. If you offend me, I'll knock you out 100%. I'm just joking, but you should be aware who you offend. You should be aware who you are battling with. You should know exactly what your opponent is capable of. You should not be taking your opponent for granted. The best way I learned this was when I was sparring. I still remember one time I was sparring this dude. This was like the first times of my sparring. Almost been a year. So I was in a park and I was about to spar this dude who was kind of smaller than me. And I thought, this dude is smaller than me. He looks skinny. He's smaller. He ain't gonna hurt me. I'm gonna hurt him. So I was like taking him for granted, kind of offending him. And the next thing I found out was he punched the hell out of me. Like, he punched me once straight on my face. He caught me with a right, and I literally almost got knocked out. I almost lost consciousness. That's how much power that short, skinny dude had on his punches. But I'm smart enough to dodge all the punches, but I only got that one punch. But if I had not taken him for granted, if I had not offended him, and if I had not taken him easily, I will not get that punch. But I kind of thought like, this skinny dude is not going to do anything, and I ended up getting punched in my face and almost got knocked out. But still, I carried on and I won. But still, it was a great lesson for me, and this chapter absolutely reflects that lesson. And you should always try to be as respectful as possible. For me, I'm very good at saying thank you, saying sorry to people. I always say thank you even if I'm at a grocery store. Even if I take a taxi, let's say, and I say thank you to the taxi driver, I try my best to tip people. I try my best to be as respectful to people as possible. I try my best to not offend anyone intentionally. Well, if someone gets offended by me unintentionally, then it's not my problem, it's their problem. But I try my best to not offend anyone intentionally, not even my enemies. Lesson number 2 is don't try to change others. Instead, change only yourself. And this comes from law number 45. And you see, the realist example of this will be, recently we had a huge protest here in Nepal. It was called the Gen Z protest, where all the youths, all the late teenagers were fired up, thinking they're gonna change this, they're gonna change that, they're gonna change the country. And literally thousands of young people literally went out and, destroying things, burning things, doing this and that, trying to change change the government, we're gonna change the country. But at the end, literally nothing changed at all. Not a lot of things changed at all. The corruption is the same. The people in power are actually basically the same. The only difference was hundreds of people died, and God bless their soul. They may their soul rest in peace. But I basically think that was not a good choice, because most people were hyped and they did not even know what they were fighting for, honestly. They were just like, we want to end corruption, and just putting everything on the government leaders. But instead, you should be trying to change yourself. If you have a toxic circle, if you have toxic family members, you should be trying to change yourself and come out of that toxic environment rather than trying to change the people in that environment. You cannot change anything else except yourself. That's the brutal reality of this world. And I always remember this thing that one of my very good mentors told me, which says, it does not matter what shows up in the world, it matters how you show up. And that's the reality. Anything can happen in the world. The world can collapse tomorrow, another protest can start tomorrow, or World War III can start tomorrow. Who knows? God knows, right? So the only thing you can change is yourself. The only thing you can control is yourself, and you should be focusing on what you can control. You should be changing what you can control, which is yourself, which is your mind, which is your actions, which is how you show up to the world. And you should not be trying to change the external environments. Let's say you are in a community where you are not appreciated. Let's say you are in a community where people take you for granted. You shouldn't be trying to show your value to those people, try to get their validation, get their attention. You should not be trying to do that. You're going to spend time, energy, and a lot of things on that. Instead, you should be changing your community instead. You should be changing yourself to adapt in a new community. And that being said, let's come to the most important and the most final lesson of this video, which is be adaptable, which comes from law number 48, the last law, that says assume formlessness. This is one of the most important things and most powerful lessons in the entire book. And you see, Stalin once said that the most adaptable of the species survive. And the more adaptable you are, the more powerful you can be. I see some people who are stiff as hell. They are so stiff with their behaviors. They are so stiff with their actions. Let's say someone says, hey, adapt this technique. Hey, adapt this lesson. Hey, adapt this technology. They are sitting there saying, I don't need your lessons. I don't need your wisdom. I am enough. I am myself. My behavior is me. I am this. I am that. That's absolutely not good. You should be adaptable. If you are somewhere, let's say you are originally an extrovert, but you should be adaptable enough to be introvert in the time of need. Let's say you're an introvert and you are somewhere where you have to be an extrovert. So you should be adaptable enough to be extrovert in times of need. Let's say you are a cool person. There's gonna be times in your life where you have to be aggressive. Let's say you're an aggressive person, but there's gonna be times in your life where you have to control your anger and control your aggression. So being adaptable is the number one lesson you can take from this video. That's why I kept it on number one. So be adaptable. Change your behavior when needed, change your strategy when needed, and change your learning speed when needed. You should be acting according to your environment. You should not be trying to be like, I am me, I am myself, I do not change for nobody. That's not good. You should be absolutely adaptable. If you're an arrogant person, if you're a person who is not really adaptable of anything, then you're gonna struggle a lot in your life. You're gonna face a lot of problems, you're gonna face a lot of setbacks, and you're gonna face a lot of unnecessary sufferings. So be adaptable. And always keep in mind that rigid things break and flexible things survive. So that's it. I hope this 5 lessons gave you something to learn about. And if you want me to break down more laws from the book, or talk about how I apply, or talk about more how I apply them in my life, then let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. This is gonna be a long video, I guess. So I'm gonna see you in the next video. Till then, take care. God bless you.